the far west of Sicily, there's a small white village huddled against its mountain. The village is tiny. The houses are packed one against the other, and it's the only inhabited spot on the island. When the days are fine and the tourists return, the constant fear is water. Fresh water, which always runs out despite all the tanks above the houses. In winter, what the slender population of islanders fears most are the howling storms that beat upon this Italian Ponente. A mere dozen kilometers long, with a radical, savage, mineral beauty, this is the island of Marittimo. Apart from a lighthouse, there's not a house, a tower, not a sheep farm. The windward coast is deserted. It's sublime, majestic, but deserted. In summer, there are a few local fishing boats threading amongst the caves under the mountain. But for the rest of the year, there's no one. Or almost no one. Is it so difficult to live freely in the kingdom of the wind? So thankless to live on an island far from everywhere? Near Marittimo and its villages are other islands that make up the Egades archipelago of the coast of Sicily, Italy. Talking of freedom, there is also Favignana, where the penal authorities decided long ago to place a detention center for young criminals. The island is their prison. Once past the Egades archipelago, we really are in Sicily, one of the largest and most populated islands in the Mediterranean. The impression is of having rejoined the continent. The sense of enclosure fades. Still more different atmospheres in San Vito Locapo. This afternoon, the capital of light-heartedness. It's a windy day, and it's the giant kite festival. There's the diver kite, dancing above the waves amongst the flying fish. There's also the little angel with his wings, totally naked, the little rascal, flying above the beach. Yes, it's a little boy. We're joking, but where charm is concerned, Sicily is a land that is rather well endowed. Look, if we take the time to linger in the Gulf of Castellamare, there's a Zingaro nature reserve. A protected area where cars, and especially jet skis, are forbidden. No marina, discreet beaches, paths for hikers. It has it all. Tuna fishing port, the village of Scopello in the heart of the reserve hasn't moved. It looks like a painting or a black and white film that's been colored. They talk ill of Italians. They laugh at them. They say that they're laxist, but when they can serve, they really do it. A little further inland, in the same timeless register, Sicily reveals other treasures. Then we must go back to the time 20 centuries ago, when Sicily was at the crossroads of civilizations. the site at Segeste, with the temple and the theatre that seated 4,000. 2,000 years of history on a high plateau. In a more recent period, under the aegis of Garibaldi, there was Salmi, an Italian commune in the province of Trapani, in the interior of Sicily. It was here that more than a century ago fluttered the first green, white and red flag in the history of the Republic. For several days, 1,000 kilometers from Rome, Salmi was the symbolic and fleeting capital of Italy. Today, the Italian standard still flies over Salmi, accompanied by the flag of Tibet. Even closer to us, there was also Gibellina. It happened in the 70s, an earthquake that ravaged a valley. Dead and ruins whose traces the Sicilians have tried to preserve. In place of the former village, a gigantic work in concrete by an Italian artist seems to say, "The earth may have moved, but the roots of Sicily are strong and deep. Now nothing can touch us Sicilians." Having said that, other more dramatic seismic upheavals have shaken the towns and countryside of Italy for many long years. When judges fall into ambushes, when the daily lot of the police is abduction and racketeering, when you find cars riddled with bullets in the suburbs of the capital of Sicily, Palermo. First and foremost, Palermo, so disconcerting, is a port. There's intense passenger ship traffic with the rest of Italy and all the countries of the Mediterranean. Naval shipyards and water sports, multiple commercial exchanges, therefore a major port. And Palermo is a major city with a population of over 700,000, incredible traffic and of course a shadow. The Mafia. Local folklore? Generations of police and magistrates have been fighting a desperate battle. And when the lieutenants or the godfathers are finally captured, a question arises: where do you lock them up? Earlier, we spoke of the islands and the idea of enclosure. We stumbled upon these contradictory notions: beaches and bars, dreams of escape and prison. We remember Favignana and its open prison. This Sicilian island is not an isolated example in Italy, which has many other island prisons. Mediterranean Alcatrazes. Up till the end of the 90s, the penal authorities sent the most serious cases to the north of Sardinia. Far from their native Sicily and their family, the men of the Mafia found themselves on this island, over there, beyond the channel. The island of Asinara. It was one of the biggest detention centres in the whole of Italy. It's as if in France they transferred a part of Fleury-Mérogis to the island of Porquerolles. In the yard of this penitentiary, the Sicilian mafioso rubbed shoulders with other detainees who had received at least 20 years, among them the militant extremists from the Red Brigade, who were rampant in Italy in the 80s. Azinara is now a nature reserve. The authorities closed the prison over 10 years ago. Since then, the island has become a highly sought-after tourist destination. Escape to Azinara, say the tourist brochures today. And there's not a trace of irony.